9:16, welcome back, everybody. Time for Ask the Expert. Our friends from Kroon Electrical are here. If you have questions, and I'm sure you will at some point during our conversation today, 613-789-6559, extension 2803. You can email us or Facebook us or tweet us questions, whatever you like. And maybe a special reason for you to call in today. Michael Kroon is here. We're going to talk about saving power today, which in turn saves money.
Yes.
Which is good for all of us, including the environment, right?
Exactly.
But mostly for saving money.
Saving money is the key. Yeah, one of the key things people call us about is, my electrical bill's too high. How do I save money?
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about a few little things we could do in our home to save money. The biggest way of saving money is to reduce how much electricity you use, right?
And one way to do it, like we've started concentrating a lot more on, turning off those lights or those appliances or whatever that you leave plugged in sometimes that you don't really need to.
Exactly.
Right.
So the first thing I recommend to people is, let's study how much power you're using and how you're using your power. And that's why we brought this device here. It's a power save device.
Right.
There's a bunch of different brands of that device. And actually what we're doing today is we're looking for 3 listeners or people watching the show and who would like to try this device on. We're going to install it at 3 people's homes for free. And what we'd like is a report from them after 2-3 weeks of using it and seeing how it works.
So we need volunteers.
We need 3 volunteers.
Yeah.
Now there's a little requirement we would like to put out there.
Okay.
We want people who use over spend over $200 in electrical a month.
Who doesn't do that?
It's pretty easy, right? And we prefer people with families with a lot of people in the house.
Okay.
So that's really helpful.
Okay.
So if anyone's interested, they can call the station or call the number here.
Call that number on the screen. Is that what we want them to do? Yes.
Yeah.
And volunteer.
Volunteer.
3 people?
We would like 3 people.
3 families?
3 families, exactly.
We'll install this. This is the current cost via the smarter monitor. So it actually monitors what,
it
all
monitors
electricity
how much power
use.
you're using at any given time. And what it's going to do is when we go install it, we'll explain to you how it works and tools you could use to reduce your consumption. One of the things good to do is to have a baseline how much you're consuming at any given time.
Right.
And once you know that baseline, you go, I'm above the baseline. What's on in my house that needs to be turned off?
Right.
And then you can go
How do
through
you
a house
establish that baseline, Michael?
What we do is when we go in the home, we turn the things on that are supposed to be on, and then that's our baseline, right? And then you'll see by using it on a daily basis, okay, in the morning I should have this much power being consumed. In the afternoon when I get home from work, it should be this much or whatever.
Right.
So that's the baseline we use. When I go to bed, how much electricity should be on.
Okay.
So once we have that established, then people can turn things on and off accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there things in the house that we leave on that we really don't need to?
Exactly.
Like I find we've concentrated on one little thing, and that's turning off the light in the garage.
Lights in the garage.
And that's it be constantly on, but now we're trying to, and it may be a small thing, but in the end.
Yeah, it's a lot of, garage, basement, and washrooms are the lights that stay on longer than they need to. Sure. And actually, this is why I brought this device. This is a motion sensor switch, okay? Or an occupancy sensor switch. And what it does...
Can I hold that up for
you want to hold up? Sure.
Yeah.
And what it does is you replace a regular switch with the occupancy sensor switch. And...
easy to do?
It's easy to do. I recommend getting an electrician to do it, but it's easy enough to do.
Right.
And how it works is when you walk into the room, it goes on, and as long as there's people in the room moving, the switch stays on. Now, the neat thing with that switch is you could also get it where it also hears voices. So if there's either noise or movement, the lights will stay on, and once there's no movement or noise, the lights will go off.
No kidding.
Okay, yeah, so it's really neat. It's a real neat
Simple
device.
as that.
Exactly.
Wow, and you could install this
in a washroom, in a garage, in a basement, anywhere there's a light switch that you want to make sure it goes off when no one's in the room.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
What do you got here?
And this is the second thing I brought in. This is another energy saving tool, and you can see it, you actually have it backwards, but upside down, I should say, yeah. Okay. If you look at the 2 top things, a lot of us have those on our computers. They're USB ports. These are brand new. They've been out for in Canada probably for 2-3 months now. And what we do is we plug in our iPhones or our Blackberries of the top, and once they're fully charged, it goes off automatically. Unlike the ones we have with the transformers, we all have those transformers in our to plug our phones in. Those will keep running even if it's fully charged. They'll keep trying to charge.
Oh, is that right?
These things will actually shut off when we're fully charged.
No kidding.
Yeah. And
are these readily available to people?
You can buy them. They're a little more difficult to find. They're not at Home Depot yet and those kind of places, but electrical suppliers.
But you have them.
Yeah.
And again, should an electrician install this, or can people do this on their own?
If you feel comfortable doing it, you got to know what you're doing. You got to turn the power off. You can install them. If you install a receptacle before, you can install that one.
Yeah,
and,
don't do that with the power on, people.
No, and
just
people
makes
get
no
hurt.
sense.
People get hurt, and you got to be very careful when you put it back in. The biggest problem when you put receptacles back in is when you push all the wires in. They get all tangled up, and they might touch the ground, and you might have a short.
Very cool.
Happened.
All right, we're going to take our first break.
Sure.
We'll talk more about this, but we want to get some volunteers for our little project here.
Exactly.
Because we're actually going to monitor how much power they use, give them the results, and come back and kind of report on it, right?
Yeah, let's see if we could get people saving money on that. Yeah.
Here's the phone number, 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Ottawa.morning@ctv.ca is our email address. You can Facebook questions, you can tweet questions, but get on the phone. Ask away about your power consumption, about electricity in your home with Kroon Electrical. We'll be right back with our second segment here on Ask the Expert. It's 9:22.